Evangelist April Dunn Agnew of Special One Ministries. And I am so excited to be back with my mom. Welcome, Mom. We are here today. The last time we were together, my mom talked about tips, tools, and testimonies about relationships. And many of you were inspired and encouraged. And you asked me to invite Mom back to talk about marriage. So today we're going to delve into the topic of marriage. She's going to give tips, tools, and testimonies to inspire you in your marriages, that they will become godly marriages. Now, of course, Mom is not a psychiatrist, but she is a woman of God who's had many experiences that can encourage you. So any issues that you're having in your marriage, we cannot give you any specific advice for your marriage. We encourage you to consult God and maybe go to your pastor or a counselor about your specific issues. But today, Mom is going to offer you some tips, tools, and testimonies about marriage so that you can know God can bring you through. He can do for you what no one else can do for you. Of course, the scripture says, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and findeth favor from God. Now, I've never been married and I'm not married now, but Mom has offered me so much advice that I believe when my husband comes, I'm going to be well prepared to be the woman that God has called me to be and the wife that God has created me to be. So here we are today offering you tips, tools, and testimonies about marriage. Let's get started, Mom. So several women inboxed me and texted me about marriage, and they wanted just to hear some tips, tools, and testimonies about marriage. Now, you've been married twice. Your first husband was not saved during your marriage, and you were married for 13 years. And then, of course, you were married to my dad for 39 years, and he was a man of God. Can you tell us some things that you experienced through those marriages that helped you to come to the conclusion that if you don't put God first in your marriage, it will fail?
Well, it will fail, that's for sure. I was married to my first husband, and I wasn't saved like you say. Got saved through his death. He was a good husband. I was a good wife. Because we stayed together till the Lord took it.
Right.
But the difference in that marriage and my marriage to your father was that I wasn't saved and he wasn't either. So we went backwards and forward with things that shouldn't have been. You know, if I had been saved, a lot of things I did then I would not have done. Ways I acted, I would not have did it that way, because I would have known better.
Right.
And then when I married, when my husband got killed, and I got saved, and the Lord saved me, and I waited on the Lord for 7 years, and he gave me your father as the husband. He saved me for your father, really, because I wasn't saved. He was already saved and in the church as an elder, and the Lord, he wanted a wife. His wife had left him for 20 years, and he was waiting on a wife, and God prepared me for him.
Beautiful.
So, and he prepared him for me, because I had 6, 7 children when I met him. So he prepared me so that he would treat my children like they were his children.
Right.
And God have to work that out. And some of you young women may have children and looking for a husband. Pray, wait on the Lord to give you the husband, because he'll be a father to your children.
Definitely.
And God have to do that. So after we married, I started doing for him the same things that I was doing for my first husband. But he did not want it that way. I said like that. My mama taught me about being married. When you commit to, well, they taught us back then anyway, that you don't marry no 5, 6 times. You marry your husband and you stay with your husband till Jesus come get one of you. And I just believe that.
Right.
So you can't run away every time you get into a big argument or whatever. Go in another room and wait it out, pray it out. But anyway, I got married to Elder Jesse Agnew. The Lord had prepared me for that marriage, because we fasted and prayed and asked God for the right thing. Asked God to give us a husband. He wanted a wife and I wanted a husband, so God gave us to each other.
Right.
He prepared us and brought us together. And the things that I did for my first husband, I still did them for him. But it's the difference in people. I would get up and fix his breakfast every morning and take it to his bed, but he didn't like that. I'd take his clothes out and lay him on the bed. He didn't like that. So you have to learn your partner,
come through,
what they like and what they don't like. And if you love a person, then you're going to want to do whatever pleases them. So I had to learn that he didn't like me fixing breakfast and bringing it to the bed. And he didn't like me laying his clothes out. He wanted to do it himself. And a lot of times you get husbands and wives and you don't try to find out what they like and what they don't like. And then you get into a big argument. I don't want to wear this suit. I don't want to wear that, you know. So you learn the person, learn what they like and what they don't like. And when you love them, you're going to try to do whatever pleases them.
That's beautiful.
And that don't mean that you got to be no what they call it, a slave or whatever. A lot of people say that. I ain't gonna be a slave. No, you love that person. God love us, and anything we ask him for, he'll give it to us. If you love your husband or your wife, you're gonna do the same thing for them that they like. Whatever they like, you're gonna try to do that.
You know, you said something earlier that really blessed me, because sometimes I think we get, even with our just natural friendships and relationships, and we feel like if something happens, it's an escape for us. Mm-hmm. And women do that. And I think hearing you say you don't run away, but I love the way you said you go in your room and you say, you know, separate from that person, right, and you wait it out. Right. And I think so many times in marriages, I've seen a lot of people get divorced that are friends of mine, and it broke my heart to see them separate and divorce, because I felt like God could fix it, and he can if they learn to wait it out, as you said. Right. But how do you do that? I know I've lived with you and Daddy all of my life, even as an adult, and you know, you all were transparent with me. So how did you learn to wait it out and to allow God to fix those little bitty things that may get to you when you're in that type of relationship, a marriage relationship?
Well, see, I believe, like I heard Bishop say one time, you got to be committed to a thing.
Yes.
You commit yourself to Christ, and you're going to live for Christ. I don't care what nobody say, you're going to live for the Lord. Whatever it takes, you're going to do that. And this is the way it is with marriage. If you committed to this person, because he don't put his clothes in the dirty clothes basket, you ain't going to go and quit him and go get you nothing. You got to do the same thing with that you're doing with this one.
Right.
So if God can heal cancer, he can heal your marriage. But you got to want it done. You got to want to do it. You got to be committed to it. Yeah. That he ain't you and you ain't him. You different people. So God have to deal with that, and you have to let God do it. You can't nothing. We can't do nothing on our own. We say this all the time, but it's true. Right. You can't live with your husband or your wife on your own. It takes God.
Powerful.
It takes him to let you know what I like, him, and I know what he like. God have to do that. That's why you don't just marry him because he's tall, dark, and handsome. You wait on the Lord to give you the husband.
Right.
He may be short and ain't so handsome. He may be not so black or not so light or whatever. Whatever way you want, he may not be that. Right. But God know the heart, and that's what's got to keep you together is your heart. Because you look good. I once looked good. I don't look so good now, but my husband stayed with me until the Lord called him, and we were happy together.
Beautiful.
And we was old then. So you going to get old if you stay with that person. You ain't going to always have that figure, that 8 that you got now. So you got to make sure that the person's heart is right with God and yours be right with him too.
That is so powerful, so very powerful. Now, something that I have seen in a lot of young marriages is that when a person becomes frustrated, they share their frustrations with other people and invite other people into their marriage. What's the dangers of that, allowing other people in your business when you're a married couple?
Well, one thing is you're not supposed to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. You're one person once you get married. It's just you and him. It's just you. It's just one. It's but two of us here, but it's just one person. Mm-hmm. And when you go and bring somebody else in there, that's just not the way it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be nobody but me, him, and God. Right. Not even mom and daddy. That's it. So certain things you don't even talk to your mom and daddy about, because they don't live in the house with you. They don't know what's going on in your house. They don't know what your husband like, you know, or your wife like. You the only one know that. So nobody else should be invited into your marriage. If you have some problems that's serious enough, you go to your pastor and talk to your pastor about it, or go to the mother of the church and talk to her, and make sure it's the mother and the pastor and nobody else.
Right.
Because people don't live in your house. People are different. My husband, I know what my husband like. I don't know what yours like. And you don't know what mine is like. So you can't help me. You can pray with and for me.
Definitely.
But don't go to people talking and bringing them into your marriage. That's the wrong thing for anybody to do. Your mother and your father shouldn't be brought into your marriage. Nobody should be there except God and maybe your pastor, your church mother. If they are seasoned and full of the Holy Ghost, they got to be there.
Or a professional counselor.
Yeah,
choose that route. And I know something for the single people out there. I know something that Mom taught me as a single woman with married friends. If they come to me, I always let them know that I cannot offer them advice.
Right.
I can pray with and for them and agree by faith for the success of their marriage.
Right.
But I do not offer advice to my married friends.
No.
And so that's so important that we know that, because sometimes single women think, oh, you can tell your married friend this, that, and the other, or what you would and would not do, but that is not right or righteous. We should never offer that type of advice when we're not in that situation. So I want to offer that advice to single women who have friends who are married. Stay out of their business. Pray for them. If they come to you in confidence, you pray with them, you pray for them, but you let God deal with them and their issue. And that's some advice that Mom gave me, and so I thought I'd share that with you for free. But I think you have done such a wonderful job of training me, and there were moments in my life when I felt like I will never be ready for marriage. I would be so afraid, because I would be like, well, I can't do that like Mom, and I can't do this like Mom did it. I don't know if I can handle this the way you handle this. And you told me one time that God was going to prepare me for my husband, and I would be a good wife because God would prepare me for the husband that he had for me.
Right.
And so I was afraid all those years because I couldn't cook like you and do this like you. But something I know as I am preparing for a husband, that Mama told me to pray and ask God to prepare me for the mate he had for me. And I'm learning how to cook and enjoy cooking now because she told me to do that on that regard. So sometimes there are single women out there and they want to be married and they're kind of rushing into things and doing things of that nature. What advice can you offer those single women in their wait, things that they can do to prepare themselves to be the wife that God created them to be, if they really have a desire to be married? What's some advice that you can offer them?
Well, if they are saved, they will wait on the Lord for whatever they husband or wife. All people are different.
Right.
No two people are alike. So what your friend would put up with, mine may not like that.
Right.
So that's why we have to go to the Lord and let the Lord give us the husband or the wife. And if you don't, then you gonna wind up in trouble, because people are different. We are all made different. That's why we have to learn each other, what each other like, what they don't like, because they may not like what you like. So you gotta learn that person so it won't upset you. You know, in churches now, if you don't get the Holy Ghost like I got it, I think you ain't got it.
Right.
You know, that's the way we think, and it shouldn't be that way. We're different people.
That's it.
God deal with us differently. So you have to go to the Lord, any young woman, and get busy in the church working for the Lord. If you want to wait on the Lord, wait on Him in His church. Go to work. It's a lot of work for young people to do, old people to do in church.
That's it.
Get busy doing that. Don't let the devil trick you, because he'll trick you and have you looking every time man come through the door. You think that's yours.
Right.
But you don't do that. You wait on God, and God will show you.
Yes, He will.
He'll tell you. It was seven whole years when I got my husband, and when I went into church, the first day I went in there and seen him, I said, that's going to be my husband. I'm going to marry that man right there. 7 years.
Wow.
But I didn't go in there looking at him every time he come in the door. I just said it and never thought about it no more.
Right.
Till the day we got married, I thought about what I said 7 years ago. You know, so God, he know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he know every one of us. He say he know every strand of hair on your head. So he know what's inside of you. He know what you'll like and what he'll like, what you'll put up with and what he'll put up with. God know that. Yeah. So he ain't gonna give you somebody gonna be bumping upside of your head. He know you ain't gonna put up with that. No woman has got to be mistreated. God told him, a husband to love the wife even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for you. So God wants you to be loved, and you got to have somebody to love you, and only God knows who's going to love and treat you right. So wait on God. Pray and wait on him. If you have to go in church and fast every day, go in there and fast and wait on the Lord, and you'll keep that husband or that wife till Jesus come get one or the other. That's the only way we can do it. The only way.
Well, Mom has offered us some amazing tips, tools, and testimonies today, and we will do a part 2 to this because she has some scriptures and things that she would like to share with us. And so the part 2 will probably be a little bit more focused on the scriptures that God has given her to share with the married women. But I did want to offer some of the tips, tools, and testimonies, and I so look forward to more conversations with Mom. God bless, and remember, every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before.